what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room, Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Joined by my dad, Tony Gonzo'S. How you doing?
Pretty good.
And then also joined by Blake Money Wright. How's it going, Blake?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Doing good. How about yourself?
Hanging in there.
Not doing too bad. Let's see. I know we already got a few comments. Hey, good evening, Marcus. And hi, Kelly.
Yep.
I was just telling
Mr.
Dad,
and Mrs. Fun, guys.
I think anytime we do anything with the wrestling, I think the fines are the first two in the chat room every time.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, they make more shows than half the boys. You know, they're always making towns, man. So they're diehard wrestling fans. I wish there were thousands more of them.
Dad, I'll let you get started. I'll check the sound and do that real quick.
Okay, I just wanted to. We may have some viewers that not familiar with you, so we're going to go over a couple things. How long have you been a pro wrestler?
So now 2 years. It'll be 3 years in June, so 2.5 technically. So yeah. So not the longest time, but I think we're finally outgrowing the rookie phase, and I don't want to call myself a vet by any means, but yeah, somewhere in between there, I guess. Now I kind of know what I'm doing, I like to think.
What got you into pro wrestling?
Really just grew up a fan, like many of the other wrestlers. I just grew up being a fan, and for me as a kid, I either wanted to be a professional wrestler or a professional football player, and I went on to play college ball and just kind of learn, after a couple of years of college football, that I had a greater passion to be a professional wrestler, and here I am.
Okay, here's a question I had, something a little different. The biggest thing that you've learned by year, maybe maybe when you first started the first few months, and then after a year in, and then where you're at now?
It's a great question. I think it's just branching out, and I think it's just as young kids like to say nowadays, shoot your shot. Reach out to as many companies that you possibly can. Because they're on this level, they're not going to be reaching out to you. If you think that promotions are going to be reaching out to you at this level, you might need to get checked for a concussion. So you just need to be reaching out, whenever you're at a show, be asking, your opponent, hey, where exactly do you, compete, and just look on social media. I mean, it's easy, after being in the business for a little bit, you're going to see all these flyers getting shared and so on and so forth. And, really just marketing, making connections. That's the most important thing.
That's crazy time right now in independent wrestling in Indiana and surrounding areas. I know I believe it was last week, there was like 12 shows going on in this area, in this area, Indiana, maybe surrounding area. It's crazy how many shows there are.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is the time of the year where it picks up because most promotions will take a break in the wintertime. So now that the snow is, knock on wood, I'm going to knock on this door right here behind my office. The snow's gone. So, so, this is kind of like the best time of the year. It's going to be like this from now until the fall. So that's good for a wrestler like myself.
With you being in the business a little longer, do you think it's a good thing for young wrestlers to get out of their comfort zone? Maybe don't just stay at one place too long, and like you said, branch out. Do you think that's one of the most important things? Is maybe not once you start getting comfortable somewhere, it might be time to branch out a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Always, and this is going to sound weird, but I think some guys in the business will get it when I say this. Like, if you are the best wrestler in the locker room, that's a problem. Like, always strive to not be the best person in the locker room, because that means you're consistently getting on better and better shows. And it's really easy to get complacent when you're kind of the pseudo top guy. at an independent promotion for a while. Like, it's easy, you get on autopilot mode, and I think it's good to always be switching it up too, getting certain states to know who you are, getting different promotions to who you are. Cause like, if you really want to know who like the really talented guys are, like usually those are the guys that it doesn't matter what promotion they're at. It could be their first time there. It could be their second time there. They're always getting a good crowd reaction. And I feel like that's when you know that, there's someone there that's pretty doggone good at this.
I've asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again because it's been a while since we talked to you and things can change. What's one thing that you love about the business and one thing you dislike about the business?
One thing that I love about the business, I think just the feeling that I get every time I go through the curtain, like whether it's, I'm being a good guy or a bad guy. Although I prefer being a bad guy more often than not. I think it's just getting that reaction, just doing your job and suspending belief in people for however long that you're out there, because you don't know what they could be going through. It could be a kid that's parents just got divorced. That was me when I was a kid. It could be, someone whose parent is very sick, and you're distracting them from what's going on. I think that's awesome because it's like a full circle moment for me. One thing I dislike about the business is just like the guys that take themselves too seriously, or the guys that, pretend to know what they're doing when in reality, like they don't. I would say that. So that'll be kind of the one thing I like and one thing I dislike, but overall, I'm happy with the current state of professional wrestling.
What do you think the biggest mistakes that young wrestlers make?
I'll be the first one to say it. Something that like I wish. So like I've had some downtime for like the last 2 months, and I've really focused on like my body as of late. Getting into the best possible shape that I can possibly be in. Because like right now, I think after these 2 months of being in the gym 6 days a week, shout out to my boy Jake Carter for writing up my plan for me, and shout out to Russ Jones too for all the workouts and the motivation. Wouldn't be here without him. But I would say just looking the part is a huge part. Like it's so criminally underrated on the independent scene. Because like I worked Heath Slater, and I was very happy. I was very blessed to work him. He said, hey, the first thing that the big companies look at is your physique. And if you check that, if they check that, then, hey, maybe they'll watch your match. Maybe they'll listen to your promo. But if you don't, it's going to be really hard to get a look by them. So I would say that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. I wish back it wasn't as prevalent back in the 70s and 80s about the physique. It was more more your work rate, your ability to get a crowd reaction, that kind of stuff. But when Vince came in the middle 80s to the 90s, it got more that way, and I think it's even got more that way.
For sure.
Keep your product. I don't know if it's fair, but it is what it is.
Right.
But I will say this: Vince did have it for a long time, where it was the great big massive guys. At least we've got away from that. You don't have to be 6'6", 280 to be.
Oh yeah, no, like a 5'11", 6 foot guy like myself is very happy that we've moved away from that, and like we have, and the guys in my mind to thank for that, would be like the Rey Mysterios, the CM Punks, the Seth Rollinses, the Daniel Bryans, or Bryan Danielsons now. So I got used to calling Daniel Bryan for so long, and now he's back to being the Dragon. So
Yeah,
it's like it's
I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like we have those guys to thank, so like because without them, like it would be very tough. So shout out to those guys for showing that you don't have to be the size of an NFL left tackle to get a contract.
We had a question here in the chat. It said, have you ever had a moment where you had a goal and no matter what you do, it feels out of reach?
It's a great question. You know, I'm sure that like I definitely had, but like I think like really like my body transformation like within the past few months like it was always hard for me to get into the gym because like I'm wrestling at that 3-4 times a week, and that's very physically demanding on the body. And I just kept on telling myself like uh it's gonna be hard to accomplish that. Like I'm not gonna be able to work out. And then I just kind of thought about myself. I was like, you know what, like nobody cares how hard you're working. Nobody cares what you're going through. Like you just got to show up and do the work. And then if it's important to you, you will find a way. I just think that the human mind and society nowadays, like it's so easy to find an excuse. But like once you firmly believe like, hey, there is no acceptable excuse, like the sky's the limit.
Uh, best, best. Well, maybe more than one. Give me more than one. But since the last time we talked to you, best matches that you've had lately.
Yeah, so it's no secret I haven't been wrestling for the past
I know. Yeah, you were out a
six.
couple months. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes, but I'm back. I'm fully healthy. Like I'm ready to go. So I'm very happy about that. But I had a great match. My first match back actually last Saturday with Daniel Leeds. First time him and I have ever wrestled, and it was phenomenal. It was my debut at Emerge, so was really happy about that because like, I remember like when I was still training, I would go to the Emerge shows. So it was cool to finally debut for them. But yeah, me and Daniel Leeds, like because I was a little nervous going through that curtain, just because I was like, okay, like let's see how my foot holds up. Like am I still gonna be able to do all my moves crisply? Like, is there gonna be any ring rust? And really there wasn't. So I was super happy about that. So but yeah, I hope I get to run it back with him sometime here really soon.
Real quick, hey, holding Noreen on there.
Yeah.
Asking what's up, Blake, and saying hi to us. Hi, Holden. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, what's
Hey,
good,
man,
Holden?
we miss you. We're ready for you to be back on the team.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready, buddy. Whenever you're healthy and ready, we're ready for you to come back.
I'll ask him something real
Okay,
quick about
okay.
Emerge. I've heard a lot
Yeah.
of good things about Emerge. What did you think about their product and the fans and stuff there?
Oh, absolutely phenomenal. I've heard nothing but tremendous things about them too, and that was another reason why I wanted to work them. But it was great. Like I was blown away. Their production team reached out to me like a month before the show, and I took off my glasses just because I was tired of the glare. But so you guys will have to read the little things for me because I'm like blind as a bat. But anyways, it was great. The production team reached out to me like a month in advance, and they were like, hey, like what's, obviously like just the basics, like what's your theme song, and they're like, hey, we're gonna get together an entrance video for you. What lights do you want, or what colors do you want for your lights? Then like their commentary team reached out to me like, hey, we've seen you do this, this, and this. Is there anything else you would like us to hit on commentary? And that was just tremendous, and just an A+ company all around. And I'm excited to come back there again soon. So nothing but great things.
Yeah, we want to get up there and check one of their shows out. We've heard, like I said, we've heard nothing but good things. Marcus Fine said that from the ones he talked to, they were happy with you at Emerge.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was it was phenomenal. It was a great time. It's like it's really cool. Like whenever I wrestle at a new place, I always think like, man, like I hope they know who I am, and they did when I went out. And like whenever that happens, that's an awesome feeling. And yeah, no, it was great, and I'm definitely excited about my future there.
This is a question I came up with the other day, and I just used it yesterday when we interviewed somebody, and I want to see what your take was on it. What's on your mind when you're in the ring is especially whether you're wrestling or doing a promo? Is it fan reaction? Is it moves? I'm curious. What I mean, I'm sure it's different for every wrestler, but once you go through that curtain and you get in the ring, what's on your mind?
So I think it would depend on if I was like if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. If I'm and okay, so I guess I'll give you both. So like when I'm cutting like when I'm doing a promo, I see like a lot of people, struggle with them, right? And I think the big reason why is because like a lot of people don't believe in them. And if you look back in wrestling history, if you look back at like Ric Flair, if you look back at Dusty Rhodes, if you look back at like Stone Cold, if you look back at like The Rock, like some of the biggest Hogan, some of the biggest draws that this company has ever had, right? They weren't guys that went out and did, Canadian Destroyers and Shooting Star Press and Black Masses. Those were guys that went out and could cut a promo. And if you look at how much money they were putting in their pockets back then, it's because they were doing a promo. Because I'm a big believer that like promos sell tickets. Like that's what puts butts in seats. That's how you can build establishment. That's how you can get over just like that. Like I would rather if a company was like, hey, you can have a 2-minute promo, or you can go have like a 2-minute match where you squash a guy. I would rather have a 2-minute promo. Just because they've always been easy for me. And that's something that I was very fortunate that it came natural. So if I'm going out there for a promo, I'm not going to go out there and I'm not going to like memorize everything that I'm going to say. Like, I maybe have like a couple ideas in my head. I'm kind of like a quarterback at the line of scrimmage. Like, like this is the play that I call, but if the safety lines up over there, I'm going to call them audible. Or if, they're stacking the box, I'm going to call them audible, So it's like, that's like when I can just organically feel the crowd, and just kind of go from there, So I don't memorize everything. Usually when people memorize things, you can tell, just because like they'll mess up one thing and then the entire promo will just get steered off into the left. So like promos, I love them just because like it's, especially as a bad guy, because it's exciting, it's easy. But really that's like when I'm listening to them. Now, when it comes to a match itself, that's a good question. I mean, like, there'll always be butterflies involved, but I've learned to just breathe, and just take a deep breath and really just focus. And like, in football, like, they would say like, hey, one play at a time. And that's kind of like the same mindset I have in a match. And, in a match, like I've learned to like really just, how can I say this? Like when it comes to having a match, I've learned to like, you still need to listen to the crowd. It was Joey Owens that actually taught me this, is like, hey, if the crowd's not biting off of this stuff, that's when it's time to, hey, let's try something different here. So like, really, I've just learned that like, like in wrestling, like, yes, I could use my athletic ability, or, I could use my striking ability, or I could use my strength. But like, I've learned the most important thing in wrestling is like using these two things that God gave us on the side of our head. So, really, I'm just out there listening, man. That's the big thing, is listening and breathing.
Marcus Fine had a question. It kind of went with this. He said, "Do you ever get worried when cutting a promo that I just went too far?"
No, never. I'm a
then he
believer
said-
that like.
And then he said, "Example, WPW national anthem." And then he said, "We loved it, by the way."
Man, like, and that's a prime example right there why you don't need to memorize your promos, like, because like, what if something like that happens? So like, I'm in the back and I'm drinking water and I'm listening to this girl sing a national anthem, and I and I love, and I loved her enthusiasm, but I started to hear her like forget the words, right? And I was like, oh man. And I was like, okay. I was like, that could be something. And then like I heard like this, like the crowd like still like help her finish the words and get through it, which that's awesome. I'm glad the crowd did that for her. And then when I came out, I'm a bad guy there. I'm getting deafening boos, and I'm just like, all right. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, okay, like, all right, like you pieces of crap are gonna, cheer something terrible like that, but you're gonna boo greatness like me, and then it was just simple. And then I was, and I knew that I had to like do it in a way where like I was like, okay, like let's get this girl as we like to call it, a cheap pop, like let's put over the promo, like, hey, that was let's hear it for this little girl and this and that, get everyone excited and tear her right down. It's kind of like a movie. It's kind of like a roller coaster. There's webs and flows. It's like, okay, I'm going to get them all the way up here just to crash them right down and get booze. But no, I didn't think that I necessarily went too far on it. I've seen some real borderline things. Like I think probably the worst thing I ever said was in the promo in the build up with Jake Carter. Like I've said some nasty things. But luckily anytime I've ever said some below the belt things, like it hasn't been taken the wrong way by it gets taken the wrong way by the fans because they'll boo me, but like it doesn't get taken wrong by the company or whoever my partner is. So,
and I would say when you're in storylines and stuff, you can't take promos and stuff personal. Like if you're doing a promo about another wrestler, they can't take it personal. And if if it's opposite.
Has that happened to you though? Has anybody ever took one of your promos personal?
Yes, and I will not say who.
I wouldn't ask you. I just wondered if it happened because.
Yeah, it happened very early on in my career too, and I was like, oh man, I was like, all right. I mean, and like we were able to like get through it, but like it was one of those instances where someone in particular kind of like he was going with the memorizing thing, and I called him out for mispronouncing a few things. But yeah, that's an offline type of story because I don't want to stir anything up. Oh, the Girl Scout cookie table. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Girl Scout cookie table.
And then you did have Logan Myers.
Look, Logan, he's just being a mark like he is always. Like, hey, we're having a serious conversation here, Logan. When you want to put some clothes on in your profile picture, then we can talk. But the Girl Scout cookie table, yes, that was something that I saw out of the corner of my eyes. And I'm going to be real, like one of my favorite movies is Kicking and Screaming. And there's a scene where Will Ferrell flips over one of the tables, like when he's getting in serious coach mode after he fires Mike Ditka. And I saw the cookie. Like I was planning on completely, paying for them if I broke them. I was like, okay, like this is a risk I'm willing to take. But fortunately, they didn't. So we're all good.
Going back to the promo thing, that's one thing that I've been thinking about recently. That's one thing I think it's missing at the indie shows. Not enough promos. But that being said, we was at a show recently that was a real good wrestling show, excellent. But they did a lot of promos, went way too long, and they wasn't terrible. I wouldn't say they was terrible, but they was just god awful long. And so it's kind of a fine line of finding people. You're great on promos, and there's some other independent wrestlers that are really good on promos too. But
yeah,
I don't think they can be 10 or 15 minutes long.
No, and in my mind too, like I hate when guys cut promos online and it's more than like 2 minutes. Like it's just like, brother, come on, like especially online promos because like you can't listen to the volume that's generated by a crowd. But no, it happens quite a bit. Like there's a lot of guys out there, like nothing irks me more than like a bad manager that will cut a 10-minute promo to open the show and then the crowd's dead like that. Like nothing makes me more upset than that. That's when I'm like, damn it. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that happens.
Makes your job harder. It makes your job harder. then you got to go out there and try to get the crowd back into the show.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, come on. It's like, but yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, I just wish, like, you know, if I was ever a promoter, which I never will be, but let's say hypothetically I am, if that were to happen, like, I would not be afraid to cut the mic and be like, nope, we're done. Like, no more, no moss.
I got to answer that question. I had that down. I was going to ask you, would you ever want to own your own wrestling company or book a show?
You see, I don't know, like, if a promotion was like, hey, I wanted you to book a show, I think that's a conversation like I'm willing to have, but like I don't have an overwhelming desire. Like, if I, you know, like, once it's all said and done, it's not like one of those things where it's like, man, I wish I was able to do that. Like, I don't ever want to have my own wrestling promotion. I don't want to be, I don't know. I just don't want to be that, because like I see how hard it is. And then, yeah, secondly, like, booking a show, like, yeah, there would be some interest there, but not like a burning desire, because like I see how hard it is firsthand.
Is there a wrestling move that you wish you could do that you can't do?
Yeah, whatever move it is to get a contract. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it would. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big move guy per se. I mean, I feel. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, yeah, I don't think I really have a move that like I always wanted to do that I've never done.
Is there a move that you could care less about doing or ever seeing again?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think there's one move where I'd be like, I don't know, but like, I mean, I will say, like, one move that I think's like starting to get like a little overdone, and it needs to be saved for certain occasions, to be any form of a pile driver. Like, that's a finish. So like, I feel like it gets overdone a little too much, and it needs to be saved for certain occasions.
What do you think? Pro wrestling's harder physically or mentally?
I'm gonna say mentally. I mean, it's taxing. I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes type of stuff, and you know, I would definitely say mentally, but like, I don't know, physically, like, it's equal. I mean, it's just overall a very demanding thing. So
best piece of advice you've been given in wrestling, and also best piece of advice you've been given in life?
So the best piece of advice that I've got in wrestling, if you're going fat, I don't know if that would be one. I think when it comes to wrestling, it's just like, I forget who it was that told me this, but like, someone told me, you know, hey, never strive to be like what I was talking about earlier. Never strive to be the best guy in the locker room, you know, because if that's the case, like, you know, you're not advancing. So that, and just don't stay put at, you know, a few places. Like, don't be a 30 miler. You know, never be afraid to branch out and try new things. And then, like, when it comes to life, like, one of my, like, that I've ever seen, because one of the ones I'll always give is, like, I have a small little plus/minus on my left bicep. It's usually covered by my elbow pad, but it stands for positive out of every negative. It's like, I'm a firm believer there's a positive out of every negative in life. Like, eventually, you know, no matter how negative it is, no matter how hard it is, like, eventually something good will come out of it. So that's one that I often give. But I would say probably the best piece of advice I've ever gotten in life is my great grandfather, he would always say, you know, it's another great day to be alive. Like that would always be his mindset, no matter if he woke up sick, no matter, you know, like he served in Vietnam. So like whether he was in war, whether he was sick, like it's just another great day to be alive. So I think that's probably the best, most sincere and meaningful advice I've ever gotten in life.
Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
So I'm just going to go with my personal favorite, because I feel like when guys are like, these are who I think are the best, or in wrestling, it's very weird. It's like gymnastics, you know, to some people, a wrestler might be a 10, to some people, that wrestler might be the worst possible wrestler. But like, are we talking like now, all time, both? What are we?
However you want to do it.
Yeah, I would say like the four best, like right now. Number one's Roman Reigns. Then I would probably say, not in order, but I think you got to put MJF up there. I think Seth Rollins deserves a spot there, and then I think Will Ospreay. But if we're talking like my all-time four favorite, it would probably go Flair, Rock, Punk, and probably Cena.
Hey, well, I thought MJF really upped his value in that Iron Man match a couple weeks ago with
man.
Danielson.
No, he's great, dude. He's great. Like he's phenomenal. Like if Roman wasn't going right now, you can make the case for him being the best in the world for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people's going to hate that take about Reigns, but I agree with that take that he's the best. And people will say no, because all they're worried about is moves, but that's not.
Like by my mind too. Like in my mind, there's no like ands, ifs, or buts about it. So he's phenomenal.
His facial expressions, his movements, how he works a crowd is phenomenal.
Oh, for sure.
Chris will hear me when we're watching him at a pay-per-view match or on TV, me going crazy about the stuff that he does because I do.
Marcus Fine said Indy Mount Rushmore.
So the Indy Mount Rushmore, that's an easy one. It would be my face with 4 different expressions. But if I'm being real, like when it comes to indie guys, I think that's tough because like I feel like all of the like guys on the independent scene have that like I would consider my Mount Rushmore, like they've already been signed or they're currently signed, so that would be tough. So if I had to go with right now, it's me with 4 different facial expressions.
That's a perfect answer. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah. So like, I don't know, working out is considered one, but like since the new year, you know, that's been the number one hobby. You know, like all of my like old hobbies, like going out with like the boys, like that's kind of been cut back. Like I don't really drink anymore. So like that's been a new and unique thing, but like really it's just like, I'm kind of living a boring lifestyle of like, I go to work, I go to the gym, I meal prep, and then I shower, and then I go to bed. But like really it's probably just like working out, hanging out with friends and drinking like a club soda and lime. That's my new go-to cocktail. And really just spending time with like friends, families. I got a PS5, so like that's up there. So, but yeah, really that's about it.
Favorite food?
Steak. I would definitely say steak. I'm like at the point of nauseam with like grilled chicken breast right now. So, but steak never gets old. So what was it? I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Me and Jake Carter went to Hyde Steakhouse, and I think I had like a pound ribeye. So that was phenomenal. I mean, I totally have meat sweats, but steak all day, every day.
This is perfect. I agree with Marcus 100%. He said, put your indie Mount Rushmore on your next new shirt.
On a t-shirt.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That would be great.
You know what? We're on it, Marcus. We're on it. That'll be
I think that
on my
would
pro
be,
wrestling tees very
I
soon.
think,
And if
I think that
anyone
would be
steals it,
awesome.
I know who it is. So,
Yeah,
but no,
that would be
I'll
awesome.
definitely do that.
That is
Oh,
a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite music?
Usually it's rap. I mean, I listen to uh, uh ever since I started riding with Logan, my music changes. My music taste has changed, but like mostly it's still rap. I got let's see, like it can go like Drake, Weekend, Denzel Curry, G-Eazy, and then I can listen to like Paramore. Shout out to Haley Williams. She's like my celebrity crush. So really it can be anything, man. It can be anything. I think just one genre that I just can't get into for the life of me is like country music. So
What would
no,
you
and
be doing?
Leon did make a shirt for me one time.
Oh,
What's
really?
that?
What would you be doing if you wasn't a pro wrestler?
Man, I don't know, man. That would be that I don't know. I would probably uh honest answer. I would probably be like living a very 9 to 5 life. I'd probably be married by now and I'd probably have kids, but that's kind of on the back burner right now. So but I would probably still be watching. I would, but man, like life without wrestling, that'd be a very weird life to think about. So
you got any big matches coming up?
yeah, so this Saturday I'll be wrestling for 0-1. They're going to be in Illinois. I forget where. I think it's in Macomb. No, it's not Macomb, Illinois. I'll be sharing the flyer, and then actually next Saturday I'll be wrestling in Connecticut for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. So looking forward to that. So those are the next 2 matches. I'm sure you guys will see my face somewhere around, but like I'm just trying to branch out of like the Indiana scene and just try new things. So just because I want to wrestle new people, I'm tired of wrestling the same people over and over again. So really just trying to get to as many new promotions as I possibly can, man.
That makes sense. I mean, I can understand that. Even though we'll miss seeing you as much, but I understand.
Hey, yeah. Oh, hey, when I do come to that place, it'll make it that much better. And I appreciate you saying that, man. That means a lot.
But yeah, I mean, you. Well, just like when we coach wrestling, we would go as far as we could. We had a lot of young kids, so we didn't go 5 or 6
Right.
hours unless we went to nationals and stuff like that. But we would go two
Oh
and a
yeah.
half, 3 hours and travel. So we seen different competition. We don't want to see the same competition every week. And
Right.
we even had some competition get mad. So they try to stay away from us because our teams are pretty good. And they said, well, what are you doing here? Why'd you travel 3 hours? There was all kinds of tournaments close to us. So we're coming for competition. We're looking for, we'd go south. We go 3 hours south. We go 3 hours north. We go everywhere. And we just wanted to get better. And that was our philosophy.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I mean, you got to face different people to get better.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because you got to avoid autopilot mode, as I like to call it. So just getting out and hitting the road, making new friends, trying new restaurants, hitting new gyms. Like that's what you got to do, man.
Have you wrestled in Connecticut before, or is that going to be a new state for you?
No, it's been a new state for me. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'm there. I'm not looking forward to the travel, but it'll all be good. Not anything that I'm not used to. So, but no, that'll be my first time, and I'll get to catch up with a good buddy of mine, Jarrett, who I haven't seen in a little while. So, luckily he only lives like an hour away from there. So I'll probably just make a weekend out of it. And, and he lives in New York. So I feel like that's a good place to spend a weekend at. So, but yeah, it'll be my first time there and really looking forward to it.
Is there a big difference when you go from like state to state and the way things are ran and like just the style, maybe the style of wrestling as well?
Yeah, I mean, and like the crowds too. Those can change from like promotion to promotion, but like, if like you look at like the Midwest, for example, Like Indiana is like, you don't know what you're gonna get. Like it's the crossroads of America for a reason. I feel like it's that way with wrestling, but like, you look at Michigan, like they're very fast paced, like they're very very quick indie per se. I haven't spent enough time yet in Illinois to be able to be like, oh, that's what they are. And then like Ohio's a good mix, and Kentucky's got OVW, so it's like that TV style. So like, yeah, it's definitely. I mean, and it can be different from promotion to promotion as well. I mean, you look at like all the different promotions like across, like across the state. You've got places like WCWO and Warrior. Where like their story. They're story driven, and then you look at AWR, and AWR is doing like different things. They're doing deathmatch tournaments, and there's all sorts of stuff. So it's just like it can change all throughout Indy too.
Did I see that you're in a deathmatch tournament?
I am. So we'll see what old Blake Money Wright has up his sleeves. I'll just I'll say that. So.
I'll say this for Marcus Fine. Have you lost your mind?
Hey, look, you guys know me. All right. I'm a big fan of working smarter, not harder. All right. That's all I'll say. I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Okay. I gotta teach these deathmatch kids how to work. So,
Okay. I hope it works out for you.
Hey, it will. It will.
I hope I don't see. I hope I don't see online that you got filleted with a light tube.
Are you kidding me? Look. Oh no, no! I'm not gonna drop an ounce of blood. All right, I'm not gonna, gonna drop an ounce of. You don't gotta worry. I don't get paid by the blood drop. I get paid by the win. So there's I'm gonna try to win every single match within like 10 seconds. Screw all the fans out there that want to see me get hit by a light tube. Ain't happening. So
you might be there. Possibly.
I'm gonna stir it up. I'm gonna stir some stuff up for sure.
Okay.
Well, and the moneymaker won't get ruined. So to all the female watchers right now, don't get worried now.
I was watching that night. Me and Chris was watching that night. Hoodfoot got filleted.
Oh man,
his arm got filleted, and it was awful.
Yeah, I'm glad he's all right, man. Because like I remember seeing that on Twitter, and I was like, damn.
We were watching it live on the feed, and we both looked at. We're like, they need to get him out of there. He wanted to keep going.
The other guy kept trying to stab him.
Yeah, the other guy kept going at him. We're like, they need to stop this. They finally got him out of there.
But like, I haven't met him yet. But like, man, like that's like respect to him because like I can only imagine. Like I'd pass out and cry if I saw my bicep tendon hanging out of my arm.
Logan, I'm a big fan of work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Who's that kid? I don't know who that is.
Was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we get out of here?
No, be on the lookout for my new shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, the Mount Rushmore of my face, 4 different expressions. So that and next time you guys will see.
One more question.
Okay.
Oh, go for it.
And I forgot to write it down. That's why. But anyway, I was going to ask, and I'm being totally serious, and I'm not trying for you to make somebody's heads big, but 3 wrestlers out there on the independent scene that you think big things are coming for, and not besides Blake Money Wright, because I definitely believe Blake Money Wright's going to have big things coming. I took you. I knew I took your 3 answers.
Damn it! That was the first guy I was going to mention.
I mentioned him too.
Yeah. No. Let's see. Are we talking like Indianapolis wise or
Indiana
wise? Yeah, I think and get ready for the message from him. But I think big things are coming for Logan. I think he's and I know I've been joking, but all jokes aside, I think big things are coming his way. He's doing all the right things, man. Couldn't be more proud of him. So I would say Logan, someone too, Zay Gates. He's getting better and better and better and better. And, if he can just continue to keep on working hard, and if he can continue to keep on getting in the car, trying new places, I was so happy when I saw him at Warrior. I think Zay's got a bright future.
As well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If he just keeps on going, man, like he's like sky's the limit for him. third. Who would I say is third? I like Carson Drake a lot. I think he's got. I think he's very well rounded, and anytime I see him, like the guy's always getting a good reaction. Like he's different. He works a different style than everybody. So I think those three guys. So Logan, Zay, and Carson. I think those three dudes right there.
Somebody just put up Rachel Armstrong. Matter of fact, she's wrestling OVW right now on Fight TV.
Yeah.
So
big things are already coming her way. So
she is definitely. She may not be around this area a year from now.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
Logan, three very well-rounded individuals.
Yeah, see, Logan, and I put you first. Bro. So, and fun fact, Logan, I'm going to see you here in about a couple hours after I'm done at the gym. So,
well, wherever Logan's at, he probably have a hard time getting his head through the doorway now.
Yeah, no, he's I don't know where he is, man. He's a drifter, that's for sure. So, like,
he looks kind of like a drifter, doesn't he? A little bit. Logan does.
Yeah, he's got some Axl Rose in him, so you never know where.
Holden said Dutch Boy Platinum would be another pick.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of good.
There's a lot of good talent in Indiana right now.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And hopefully it continues to go, goes that way. And I think Carson is actually an Ohio guy. So, yeah. but those three dudes, like and the reason why I say them is just because like I've shared locker rooms with them and like I've seen them at like more than like 2 shows. So it's like, oh, okay, like, hey, you guys, get out and do your thing. So,
and you're right about Carson. We've seen him at other 2 or 3 different promotions, and he always gets a reaction no matter where we see him at.
I've just seen him in Cincinnati. Well,
Blake was at Cincinnati as well. But yeah,
big deal over here. Yeah.
We've been fans of Drake since the first time we saw him.
Yeah, I think that's when he's working Dan 7. Yeah, I think that's when he's working Dan 7. That was the night I worked Wentz. And but no, hopefully, I mean, I don't know how it would go with both of us usually being booked on the dark side, but that would be a dude I'd actually really like to wrestle too.
Yeah, that would be really good. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, you and Hertz had a great match that night.
Yeah.
But all right, well, do you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram at Blake Money Wright. And I think I'm going to start getting in the TikTok game. So I think my username's at Blake_Wright1 because I'm number 1 at everything in life. And be on the lookout for the new pro wrestling t-shirt dropping probably right after my designer gets done making it. So
cool.
All right. We appreciate. Well, first of all, Blake, we appreciate you joining us. You're welcome. Come back anytime.
Anytime.
And then,
and for the record, do I hold the record for most appearances on G.W.R?
Yes.
Yep.
There we go. This is like 4 or 5 times. So there we go. We're getting an elite era.
At least 4. It might be 5.
No, I think it's 5.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, you definitely hold the record. Everybody's gonna be playing catch up to Blake Money Wright.
Yep.
That's right.
That's not unusual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is in everything. So there we go. Everyone's playing catch up.
I can't believe Bravo Young's having this much trouble with this dude. I'm watching college wrestling as well.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I got Madden on in the background, so no worries.
National championships and number 1 seeds having trouble with the number 17 seed.
Oh, geez.
So that's why you wrestle the matches. But
exactly.
Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at GonzoSportsRoom. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I need to get in the TikTok game as well. I keep saying I'm gonna get in there, but I haven't jumped to that side yet.
Yeah, I know. I need to as well. So I'm hoping to have a couple out this week. So I'll be sure to share it when I do.
And then all that's at GonzoSportsRoom. That's where we post everything about our shows. We will be live at New Era Wrestling Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Twitter and Twitch. Come join us for that. I don't know. I really don't know the card for there. I just know Braden Lee will be in the Braden Lee's there, so I figure he'll be in the main event. Other than that, I don't know the card, but join us 7:00 Saturday for that. Then next week on Wednesday, we'll have a pro wrestler Sage Phillips at 6:30. Then on Thursday we have pro wrestler Jake Elliott at 6:30. So we got 2 interviews next week, and then next weekend we have DCCW 5-year anniversary show.
Crap! That's coming up. I might see you guys there. Who knows?
But we appreciate everybody joining us. We will see you guys next time here on GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room.
Thanks, fellas.